Finally, he stops and he gets up and goes to the bathroom, and I'm like, okay, I can
Obvious
sleep
reasons.
now. Right, you know,
And you stole his stuff while he was in the bathroom.
Oh my God, no!
That should have been what she did.
Like, I would have woke like I wouldn't be in a youth hostel today, but I would have woken up the entire bay just like making a ruckus. But I was too scared to do anything. And he comes back, and I'm like, thank God we could go to sleep. But no, he starts up again for round 2 of his,
Yes.
evening excursions or activities. It was so bad. And then like he has the nerve to ask me the next morning. He was like, and I can't do the French Canadian accent, but he's
Paul.
like, how did you sleep? Yeah, Paul.
Yeah,
And
right.
I was just like, fine. Like I had nothing. I had no sass, no nothing. And he's like, I slept sound. And I'm like, I bet you did.
Welcome to the Where Have You Been podcast. I'm your host, Bill Ream, and each week on the pod, I have conversations with incredible guests from all walks of life. Expect to hear funny, crazy, emotional, life-changing, and even sometimes life-threatening stories and experiences that will entertain and inspire you. As always, I appreciate your likes, subscriptions, ratings, and reviews wherever you are listening. It doesn't sound like much, but it truly helps the pod get to the ears of more people who may enjoy it. And check out the website, whybpodcast.com, for links to the socials where you can find pictures from the guests and their stories, and also buy merch if you're so inclined. Now let's get to this week's episode. Thank you for being here.
Welcome back to another episode of the Where Have You Been podcast. And I love firsts on the show, and this is definitely going to be another first for us. I've had, if you're a regular listener, you know that we had a couple on that had their own podcast. Well, we have a thriple of sorts, if that's even a word. We have Paul and Benef and Trecia, and they have a podcast of their own. I'm going to let each one of you take a few moments and just introduce yourselves if you would do so. Let's start ladies first on my screen. I'm going to go right to left, and we're going to start with Trecia. If you don't mind, tell the listeners, who are you?
So, who am I? Well, my name is Trecia, and I am based out of Houston. I live in a suburb, about 30 minutes outside of, well, more like 45 minutes outside of downtown Houston in Texas. And I'm a real estate broker, have been for almost 20 years. And, I just sell real estate as well as getting my first undergraduate degree. So, and I do a little bit of podcasting on the side.
That's excellent. Well, congratulations on that. How much longer do you have for your degree?
They tell me I'm supposed to graduate December of 2026. So you're all invited.
Awesome.
Ah.
Very cool. All right. Benef. Am I saying that right?
Yeah. Benef. Well, Benef is the full name, and I go by Benef for short. So yes, I am retired Army officer. I retired in 2017. So right now I live in Colorado and just enjoying my hobbies, one of which is podcasting, Rhythm and Rome podcast. The three of us do together. But yeah, I like to travel. I speak French. I dance. And so, yeah, excited to be here. That's pretty much me.
Have you taught Paul French?
He's hopeless. He's hopeless.
I am
no,
very
it's not
hopeless.
even possible.
My God.
No, but what's funny, I mean, like you do speak French, but like for some reason you put on like a different voice. Like you have like this weird, I'm now speaking French accent, and I can't understand what you're saying.
Because I'm so confused with the French people because Parisians will say one thing and then I'll say another thing, and then I'm like, you know what?
You just want to make sure they know that you're switching. It's the tone.
That's what it is.
You don't sound like Paul. It's like Paul like putting on a special voice, and that's what is. I don't know what you said. Like I literally don't. I'm like
because that's what I'm hearing that the teacher tells me to say, and I'm like, I guess it's wrong.
Oh my gosh.
So last but not least, we have Paul. What would I say? It's not Je m'appelle. That's me.
Yeah.
So. Go ahead and tell the listeners.
Yeah, or je m'appelle Paul, or I ain't gonna try and talk French because the accent.
Automatic change.
Yeah. because there's an arrogance to like the way, or a suave, or a je ne sais quoi with the
Because
French.
okay, so he is in Paris. Paul is in Paris. Why don't you continue with your intro?
I am in Paris. That's where I live. I've been living in Paris now for almost 5 years. I'm also a retired Army officer too, as well, and I used to work in the financial industry as well. And podcast is one of the things that I love to do, as well as traveling. I just got back from my 54th country that I've already traveled across the globe and stuff like this. I just came back from Iceland, loved it, and I am really enjoying living here in Paris. But it's hot as heck, and yeah, can't do much because air conditioning is bad for you.
That's the one thing I can say is great about Texas is we got central air.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need it here in Pittsburgh this year too. We've been hitting the 90s almost every day as well, so it's just
No
been
kidding.
crazy.
I've been reading that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in the world. That's for sure with this heat wave and stuff like that. So it's been crazy.
Global warming. What do you mean?
That's
That's
exactly
what
right.
just was going to say. Global warming, Paul.
Yeah,
Look.
the obvious.
So it depends on who you talk to, but anyway.
So who wants to take the lead on, if you guys would, maybe all three of you together, not at the same time, but tell us about what your podcast is. How long have you been doing it? And, what exactly do you do? Do you have guests on your show as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Benef, you want to
Sure. Yeah. So it was Paul's idea to have the podcast, and we sort of brainstormed because we knew that we love travel, all three of us, but we wanted to have a different lens of travel, not just this is the best hotel to stay at, this is the best restaurant. So that's where we came up with the idea of like the cultural misconceptions that we carry around with us. Paul and I, working with the military, like traveling a lot, we realized that we would carry these ideas with us about what we thought Japanese people were like. What do we think Koreans are like? And we don't have any idea. We're getting these ideas from mainstream American media and family members. Who knows? They're not accurate. So the idea that we come face to face with these cultural misconceptions, and then we learn if they are accurate or not. We have similarities, we have differences. So we like to talk about these types of things on the show and kind of really get into just the things that we believe that aren't right, that are due to ignorance, arrogance, American arrogance. So we call ourselves out a lot on what we think we know about French people, about Italians. I mean, anybody really.
That misconception.
So that's just the misconceptions. And we've been going for over a year. We started in March of 2024. And we just came out with a book to really get into the mindset of like travel. Like we have these misconceptions. Well, how do we even know that we have them? How do we approach them?
There they are.
Somebody's upset. Is that someone's dog?
Yes, that's mine. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I was like, it's either that or somebody's stomach is growling really bad. But
no, that is my puppy.
Yeah, sorry.
That's all good.
But no, continue, like piggyback off of what Benef was talking about too as well. One thing that we also focus on, Bill, is that, we are three people of color. So one of the things is we try to also share the lens of encouraging people of color to travel to places that are not the norm, right? And when I say not the norm, I'm talking about like those, the Caribbean destinations and the normal places that a lot of us are comfortable with, and to go outside the box, because this is how you get to learn and getting that, immersing yourself into people's culture and stuff like this too as well. And like Benef mentioned about our book, the Apaki Guide, Passport Knuckle Ride, which we talk about a lot of these things in it, along with the misconceptions and some steps, experiences that we've taken, and then we've, wanting to share it with our audience and everyone else who's interested in wanting to learn a little bit more and stuff.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like we have guidelines that you can follow. And we call it the Rome method, which it worked out beautifully because I do like acronyms. being prior military.
Yes, she does.
and it worked with our name. So we're going to recognize our misconceptions, observe the differences, maximize the similarities, or no, accept the clashes and then maximize the similarities. So
yeah.
Rome, yeah. And so we just have like it's a guide, a pocket. I mean, it literally is very short, very easy read for people to just sort of, when they travel, have that in the back of their mind. If we're going to places that may just be so different culturally that we could feel uncomfortable because of the differences that we're just not sure how to deal with.
And then what we've also done too is create a companion workbook along with coming affirmations to really kind of hone yourself and and live in that space, accept it, but then be able to move on so that you can enjoy where you are, right? And finding those similarities so that you can connect with others.
That's really excellent. So where do we find everything? Where do we find the book, the podcast? I'm hoping probably all in one place. But yeah, tell me website, socials, individual socials, pod socials.
Yeah, you can visit our website at www.rhythmandrome, and that's the and word, rome.com. And you'll find all the information there. You can also follow us on YouTube, on our YouTube channel at Rhythm and Rome. And you're able to see, what is it, almost 47 episodes now that we've created in this space. So, and you can also get the ebook copies are available on Barnes & Noble as well as Amazon. And then you can also get a printed copy as well from BookBuy, which is available all from our website.
Please spell Rome. So it's not the normal Rome as in the city.
It's the
Rome.
ampersand on YouTube for sure.
No, but
yes.
Rome is in like to roam around.
Oh yes, sorry, ROAM.
Yeah,
but I figured that was self-explanatory since.
No, it's not.
It's not. It is not.
Benef just talked about the acronym, so that's why I was thinking it was there. But yes, Rhythm and Rome, ROAM.
Yeah, the website will have all the links to the different places where you can buy the book, also to our YouTube and our socials. So it's a one-stop shop for everything. And it's just been really fun. And Paul is like the one that travels the most out of all three of us.
Well, that's because I'm also the one that's not married. So it's easier and I'm a little bit more independent. And I think it's fascinating to tag along a little bit, Bill, on the fact that I don't know if we actually said how we actually congregated together, all three of us, but I think maybe I could say I'm the middle person that actually, introduced everyone together, because I knew Trecia from high school and like, I guess tail end of junior high-ish kind of thing too as well. But high school, we were in marching band together. Yeah, we were band geeks. And I knew Benef through my days in the military and so on, and we were stationed together in Sumter, South Carolina, and that's how it all came. And we kept in contact throughout these years and stuff like that. And we were like, "Yeah, let's do this."
That's excellent. I think it's awesome what you guys are doing. I've listened to a little bit, and I really enjoyed listening to it. And I'm subscribed on Apple Podcasts, so I'll definitely continue to listen.
I appreciate that.
All the links that I can put, I'll put those in the show notes as well, and hopefully people will check all that stuff out as well. So how do I want to start this with three of you? This is going to be challenging.
Don't be bashful, Bill. Don't be bashful. We're not going to scare you.
But I want to know for each of you, because it's going to be different for each of you, I'm sure. Especially the two of you that were in the military, was that kind of how travel started for you guys, or did you travel beforehand? And then the same question for you, Tricia, is when did travel become a thing for you as well in your life?
You're right, because it did start with the military. As a kid, we drove. I mean, I grew up in Michigan and Wisconsin, so we would drive to see family. I went to Puerto Rico once. It wasn't like, I think we went to Canada. So, but because of the military, that's really, really what gave me my love for travel. Like, I got deployed to Bosnia, which it was actually really cool. Like, I'm not going to say Iraq was cool, but Bosnia really was just like that part of Europe I'd never been to. And just having like the ability to take an R&R to Hungary, And so I think that's probably what started it. And just having my own money to be able to travel really is what just the work was what allowed me to travel, and then being stationed overseas. I was never stationed in Europe, but I did get to do like temporary trips to all over Europe, and then lived in Korea and Japan for like 5 years. Like, no, 5 years in Japan and then 2 years in Korea. Yeah, oh my gosh, long time. So, and then, but being stationed over there was like a launching pad to get to New Zealand, Australia, Indonesia, Thailand, like places that just are really difficult to get to from the United States because of how long it takes to travel there.
And I could tell you, I can add on to that and say it's definitely the military was a big piece for me too as well. On reasons for my love for travel actually came from my sister, who always talked about wanting to live overseas and all this other stuff, and I didn't understand why. But then when I got into the military and so on, it took off because it was almost like every 2 to 3 years you were going somewhere, and it was you're gonna be moving, like not to just another state but to another country.
Right.
And
Wow.
another destination type of deal too as well. So it was always a moving, and then once I got out of it, of course, you start to get a little bit, wanting it more because you're so used to it. For every 2 years, you're gone and going somewhere and doing stuff like that. And I feel like I'm still doing that now because I just came back from Iceland, and I literally today was online looking at my next trip.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm just like, why?
Oh, that's the dream, man.
I don't know. Yeah, why are you doing so much? I mean, you're not getting stressed. I mean, not stressed out, but like you're not getting tired from all that.
I thought I was, but then something comes up, and then I'm like, I think it's something with just the tradition here in Europe where people travel with the season, and they truly do that, and everything is so close. So, for example, I just found out like the best time to visit Croatia, which I've been before. They say it's in September, and I was like, oh,
is that where you're going next?
That's where I'm looking at.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Trecia, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, for me, honestly, when I was actually thinking about this question, I always relate to the trip that I took by myself, right? So I've taken several trips for myself, even as a child, but that I can remember and that I fully participated in. But really, I would say my origin story was for me and my travel was probably at 3 months when I was in Germany. My father was in the military; he was in the army, and he had gotten stationed in Germany, and so my mother moved over there with me as an infant. And I lived in Germany for maybe all of 4 months, maybe 5 months. My mother was terribly homesick, super shy, and did not, was afraid to talk to anyone. So she was quite lonely and homesick. So she ended up going back home, even though my father was still in Germany. So I still chastise her today and how she totally robbed me of this experience and that I'll never forgive her. But honestly, the story that I really connect with is all of my family is from Belize, from Central America. So it's the only English speaking country in Central America, and the language there in Belize is English, and I should say the main language. And those are probably my fondest memories of when I was about 11 or 12 years old, when I spent an entire summer. And actually, I lived there when I was probably about four, from the time I was four, almost was at second grade, so 4 years old, to about 6 or 7. But I went back to visit family, and I had a summer where we actually backpacked through Belize and through Mexico. And so that was actually really cool.
That's
so
awesome.
To have that experience at such an early age, that really, I've had a passport forever.
Mm-hmm.
So travel has always been a part of our lives, whether it's a car trip, whether it's local, or whether it's abroad. So, yeah.
Excellent. That's awesome. I love it. And I love the different variety that you guys have
Yeah.
in your origin stories, as you put it. This is going to be a hard part too, because normally at this stage is where I say, okay, well, where have you been?
Paul shouldn't
So
go.
you-
He's
you
been
gotta-
everywhere.
It would take too long.
But
I'll give a highlight.
that's exactly what I was going to say. However you want to do it. If you want to just say like, hey, here's an overview, here's the highlights, whatever. But however you guys want to take it, I'm throwing it back at you. Where have you been?
I'll start because I feel like I'm gravitating towards the time in Asia because before I moved to Asia, I could not tell the difference between the languages, Chinese, Japanese, Korean. I would have told you they all look the same. And then the cultures were like, whatever, it's Asian. And after living in Japan, traveling to Korea and living in Korea as well, and traveling to China, I was so wrong. Like that was a misconception that I had because I was just like, whatever, it's all the same. But it's not. They couldn't be more different. Like the things that are the same are that they all eat rice and they use chopsticks. Like that's it. Even the chopsticks are different.
Oh wow!
And so
that I didn't know.
It was, yeah, no, I mean, and I, just living there and being able to hear the differences in the languages, see the differences with how it's written. The clothing is different. The mannerisms, like how they make decisions is different because I had to work with the Japanese and the Koreans, and like the way they even speak to you is different between Japanese, Koreans, and Chinese. The food is different, like everything is different. So I couldn't have been more wrong. It just, and then having to getting a better understanding of the relationships in that region between those three countries. Because growing up in like Michigan, white community, we just didn't learn about Asia. So I didn't know until I started reading on my own how volatile the relationship between those three countries was in the region. And I didn't even get to fully understand like Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, like any of that, Thailand. I'm just talking about China, Japan, and Korea. And the fact that they still have, there is still some animosity between these governments, that they're still, the World War II is still really fresh, and it's really fascinating. And I wouldn't have known any of that at all had I not actually lived there. And yeah, I was living on American bases, but we did get out and about and we did travel. And so that's, for me, like just being able to live in Asia really opened my eyes to, wow, I have so many misconceptions about Asian people because we just lump them all together as Asians.
Exactly.
And
specifically Americans.
But is there similarity between the three in that, are they all, at least in your experience, was it a friendly vibe with?
So I would say that the Japanese are so courteous and super friendly. So like if you're a visitor, you're going to be like treated like a king. Like they will go out of their way to help you. And so that was nice, and it was interesting because the Koreans are also helpful, but they're a little more like blunt and direct and like in your face.
Okay.
And I didn't spend as much time in China, so I can't really speak to that. But another thing that I found interesting, just like living in Japan, I had a very good friend. He's still my friend, but he's a bike rider. And he had been in some bike accidents in Japan, and
plural,
where he would be like in the yes, I know, but he would be like in the street, like bleeding, and the Japanese would not help. They would like drive around him because they don't have a good Samaritan law. So like you could be liable if you help someone and that person died.
Oh, jeez.
And I was like, they just driving around you. Whereas in Korea, when he was in the bike accident, poor guy, they would come rushing to help him. So there's differences like that. I would just be so surprised.
Was it an experiment?
I know. Purposely trying to get in a bike accident. No.
Let's see what we can find out about
in different countries. Yeah.
But I did find the Koreans to be more like in your face, which is challenging when you're doing like trilateral negotiations, because the Japanese do not operate like that. So they're clearly lying to us because no one would be that direct. And then the Koreans will be like, the Japanese are clearly lying because they're not saying what they mean. Because the Japanese, they don't ever want to say, no, we're not going to do that. They'll be like, ooh, it's difficult.
Mm.
And Americans are like, well, how can we help you? Yeah, let's make it easier. When they really mean, no, we don't want to do that, but they won't say no. And the Koreans will just, yeah, it was so interesting. We don't get any training. At least I wasn't a foreign area officer, so the Army does not like provide any training for how to deal with.
I can say if I tag on to the way Benef explained it and not have to go through 54 country things, is I could stick on to the Europe side of the house because that's where majority of I think my time spent was in Europe and living in Europe. Like I lived 7 years in Germany, 1 year in Italy, 6 months in London, stuff like that, and then Luxembourg and Paris and so on. And the misconception for me, or stereotype or however we wanted to throw it out there was I remember and I'll never forget when I was told I was living in Oklahoma and I was told, oh, by the way, your new job is going to be in Germany. And I'm like, in case you haven't realized, I'm black, Like I literally said that to my boss. I was like, are you kidding me right now? Like, because what we learn in school is World War II, like, and then I had this, like, I knew it wasn't, East and West Germany anymore, but I knew it was Germany and they weren't far removed.
And
they were only
when
like,
was this?
what? This was 2000.
Okay.
So they weren't that far removed from the wall getting, dismantled or whatever. So I'm just like, really?
And hell no, I ain't going to Germany.
I did not speak. And I was like forcing myself. And then that's when I actually went to Korea because I lived in Korea for 1 year, but then came back, did schooling, and then they were like, yeah, you're going to Germany, regardless if you don't like it or not. So I did, and I'm glad that I did that because it opened my eyes to see not only, Benef was talking about, the Japanese being, or not Japanese, but the Koreans being direct. Well, on my end, the Germans are very direct and very punctual. And you're late 2 minutes, that's like they're gonna be pissed off at you. So I had to learn all this, and I'm just sitting there like I'm more of a hyper joking kind of guy, and I'm just like, why is everybody so darn serious? Like, stop, kind of thing. But like,
how far did
this
that
is the
go?
part. It didn't go far, unfortunately, and it still didn't. And I'm just like, and I still, even when I was working in corporate, I still work with, different partners and stuff. The Germans and the French. The French have their difference, in things. I think the biggest thing for me, and I was nervous, and it was one of those things where I want to travel, but I was too scared because I was like, yeah, I don't look like everybody. So, I'm glad that Uncle Sam gave me that opportunity to get over that fear, right? And that opened the door for me wanting to do it. But my love is actually the European continent for one, because it's so easy to travel so many different places. So that would be, to answer your question, is the European continent.
Excellent.
Yeah.
See,
Well,
that
for
was
me, yeah, that was actually short for you, Paul. That's awesome. So the for me, I guess the story is, and where have I've been? I've been primarily Europe. I haven't been to a lot of. I haven't been to Asia or a lot of the other Eastern Europe countries, European countries, or that sort of thing. Although it's on my list. So a lot of my travel has been around not only my own curiosity, but a lot of it has to do with my children, because I got the most opportunity to travel is through programs that were connected to my children, and whether they were in music or through their history classes or that sort of thing. So I took advantage of those group travel opportunities.
Chaperone mom.
Yeah. Did they love it?
Oh, absolutely. Of course, because my children are avid travelers
No,
now.
I mean,
Actually,
did
my daughter.
they love that they didn't get away from mom when they went overseas?
Oh, yes. Yeah, no, they're fine. No, they were totally okay with those experiences.
All right.
I had traveled previous to that, right? So me wanting to bestow that onto them. I was not a chaperone on any of their trips. The trips that I took as an adult, and I let them do what they were going to do, and I got to have a vacation. So that's
Oh,
how
I
that
see.
worked.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I made it. They made it very clear that if you're going on the trip as an adult, you will not be chaperoning not one kid. So I was like, oh,
That's
nice.
even better.
Okay.
Where were those when
Exactly.
my
Yeah.
kids were growing up? I didn't get those opportunities.
Exactly. So it was just a really, just a easy way for me to kind of fit that into my schedule to do it that way, especially since, it's one of my kids. But travel that I have taken, outside of that, myself and my husband, we just recently took a trip to the British Virgin Islands, where we actually rented a catamaran, and catamaran in the sense with a motor. It wasn't sailing per se, but ourselves and two other couples, we rented a boat and we went island hopping, and that was absolutely incredible. I never thought that I would do something like that, although yes, in Belize I've done that and taken water taxis and things, but to actually live on the boat and to be able to go island hopping every day wherever you wanted to was fantastic. That's freedom.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was a really neat experience. But I would say life-changing for me, you would say aha moment was when I took a trip to Portugal. That to me was everything.
Yum, 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 yum.
It just really, Portugal is and especially for, I guess, African Americans in general, I feel like Portugal, I mean, it was really, the Portuguese were the beginning of slavery. I mean, they were the first
they sure did
to
start
bring slaves across. So that was, the whole slave trade. So it's kind of interesting that there's such a huge Black expat community that is there now, and how they're immersed in the culture, not to mention just Africans in general. Just it's a real melting pot that Portugal is turning into now.
Well, it's like, hey, you guys shipped us away. We're back.
We're back in full force. Yeah, exactly. And so, but other than that, to bring that up, but just the people are just amazing, and it was clean, and the food was incredible. The wine was incredible. Everything about it felt like home. I don't know how else to describe that once you go to a place and it feels like home. So yeah, I'm trying to get back there as soon as I can.
It's the number one safest European city now.
Yeah.
Well, country
Yeah.
right now.
So
Portugal is really?
Portugal.
I didn't know
yes,
that.
absolutely.
This year they got number one this year.
Number one
I
again.
haven't been to a place where I felt like it was home. Maybe no, I don't feel like I've never traveled to another country. I'm like, this is home.
I do feel like
The
I
vibe there
honestly, I can
so
get
chill.
with Trecia on this, because there's a lot of places, especially even being here in France. Like, I always say to myself, I'm like, I know I'm American, but I feel like I need to ask my parents, like, are you sure I wasn't born in Europe and then you kind of like migrated to like America? Because I literally, like, I just feel comfortable, and I didn't think I would ever feel comfortable here. Maybe it could be because of the political climate. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I don't have that. I don't really. I mean, I was in Ireland just recently, and in July, and I didn't feel like this is my home. These are my people. I was
technically that is my people, but according to my 23andMe,
Irish. You're Irish,
British and Irish.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
okay, guys. Ashkenazi Jew. So what does that say?
That's surprising.
Wow.
They might have mixed your DNA up with somebody else's.
I don't know if I've talked to anyone who got results back from that were exactly what they thought they were going to be.
No, I had some like Norwegian shit in there, and I'm like, coming from.
And I had 4% Italian in mine, as well as
I knew
about the Brit. I also knew about the British part because my family in West Indies and stuff like this.
Exactly.
But to answer, just to let you know, though, Benef, a lot of Africans did migrate to Ireland back when they were running away from becoming a slave and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's not.
I think you said that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not historic.
So,
and obviously they're light years ahead in their political stance on that as well. So there we go. We're okay.
So I love this already. You guys are a lot of fun. And so the four of us are sitting down having whatever our drink of choice is, and we just start throwing stories out there. what are, like, for each of you, what is your, like, one, or, well, start with one that just jumps out at you as either this was like the funniest thing that's ever happened to me in travel, or one of the most, maybe even,
Yeah.
or one of the, you know what,
So, like, how family friendly is your podcast?
I just try to keep
like little kids.
I just try to keep the profanity down, but other than that, like,
Okay.
you can tell whatever you want. I've had some pretty gruesome things on here.
Okay.
And also, before we get to the end, which I'm not trying to foreshadow anything or rush us or anything, but I also love hearing those moments that are, like, really touching and just have a deep moment somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So however you guys would like to start. And the emotion doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be funny. It doesn't have to be whatever jumps out at you.
Okay, do you want I'll do the little flavor first because I think I know Benef's, but you probably know mine. So I'll start off by saying mine will be quick so we can get to Benef's because hers is funny.
Oh my God.
Hers so much better.
When I was living in Germany, I took a trip to Spain. I went running with the bulls. I did that 3 times now. If you haven't done it, highly recommend it. I went running with the bulls, and myself and my friend who I was traveling with, we both got arrested in Pamplona, Spain, because you're not allowed to take pictures because the flash, I don't know what it is, but the camera or something makes the bull go crazy. I don't know.
Really, not the people running down the street,
right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So they arrested us, and, like, I had the paddy wagon and everything like that, and it was me and my friend and a couple of Aussie people and stuff like that. We noticed it because that place is very packed in Pamplona around that time, and I end up listening to some of the Australian guys that was there, and they had all our cameras and stuff, and they were putting us into the, what do you call it? The holding cell, whatever you want to call it. But before they could put us all in there, because there was a lot of us in that police station, we could tell they were overwhelmed. And all of a sudden, they had our cameras on the thing, and then the Australian guy was like, "Hey, I'm just going to grab my stuff, and I'm just going to get the hell out of here." And I thought he was joking. And then my friend, American guy too as well, he was like, "Well, shit, I'm leaving too then." And then I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, we work for the government. Like, hello, like." But then he was like, "Yes, hint, we work for the government. That's not gonna look good if we got arrested, you know."
No.
So we end up, like, as the cops were, like, turning and talking to other people that they arrested and stuff like that, I saw the Aussie took his camera, and then I just slid and grabbed mine, and my friend did, and then we walked out like as if we were just one of those people that was just asking questions or something like this. And then,
did you turn and take pictures of them before you left?
If I did, I would have gotten caught. But what I did was, I was a track athlete back in college. What I did was I used my speed to my advantage. We hauled butt and just dissolved into that packed crowd. And I can't even believe, I feel like I'm a fugitive of Pamplona, Spain.
Oh my God. You're still wanted.
Yeah, your picture's up in their post office.
They have a sketch of you, sure.
Right? It's like, oh my God. I hope the cops or the police station doesn't see this. But no, it was years ago, guys. So it's hopefully there's a
statute of limitations.
Statute of limitation is over or something like that. But I always love to tell that story because I'm like, I can't believe.
I think I have a lot of listeners in Pamplona, Spain. So hopefully this doesn't.
I'm just kidding. He's so fun.
Don't do that, please, because I do want to go back. It's a pretty city.
Oh, that's
anyway.
Yeah.
Run with the bull.
But yes, go ahead, Benef. I'm tagging you in.
There's buildup on this one now.
Bill, you'll like it.
So I went to the military academy at West Point, and after we graduated, we had 90 days of just free leave. And so this was our opportunity to travel. My friend and I were like, we're going to backpack through Europe. And we made arrangements, and now I'm like, how do we even do that? Because without the internet, I don't know. Anyway, so we went to the island of Capri in Italy, and then we were in Naples. Actually, no, that's where we flew into Naples. Anyway, we get to Rome. and we're tired and we're just trying to find a place to stay for the night. So we had this youth hostel like in our little guidebook that we couldn't find it though. I mean, and it was already like 10 p.m. at night, and we're like, just the first one that we find we'll go to. So we go, and they have rooms available or beds available, and we get our bed assignment, and it's just 12 bunks in a room, co-ed, and we're like, all right, well, I guess this is, I mean, we're military, so it's not like totally abnormal, but going to West Point, like, there's the honor code, and like a cadet will not lie, cheat, or steal, don't tolerate those who do. So we're like living by this code still outside in like the real world. And we drop our backpacks and we just go shower and leave all of our stuff unsecure. And we come back, and I'm looking for a tank top and I can't find it because it had already been stolen. Like, they had already gone through our stuff, taken a credit card from each of us, taken like a couple of shirts from each of us, and we didn't realize that till days later. But yeah, it was ridiculous. And then like the last night, I think we stayed there, it was like probably like 3 nights, and it's pitch dark and everyone's asleep. And my bunk bed, I'm on the top, and it starts like shaking. And I'm like, okay, what is going on? Like, and it's going on for like several minutes. And I'm like, can this person can just not get to sleep? Like, are they tossing and turning? And so I like lean, I look over, trying to peek down and see what the hell is happening. And the guy is completely naked. He is this like 6-foot French Canadian guy, completely naked and just going to town on himself. Like, he is jerking off full force. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, I was terrified because I'm like 21 years old, barely. Like I said, went to West Point, just very naive in general to like the world and youth hostels. And I was like, I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die. Like, everyone else is asleep. If I make any sort of movement or noise, this guy is going to like attack me. And so I wait. I am perfectly still. Like, I'm in a coffin, just waiting for it to end. And it goes on for several minutes. Like, I don't know what he had eaten or taken for it to be going on this long, but he finally stops and he gets up and goes to the bathroom, and I'm like, okay, I can sleep now. Right,
And you stole his stuff while he was in the bathroom.
Oh my God, no!
That should have been what she did.
Like, I would have woke like I wouldn't be in a youth hostel today, but I would have woken up the entire bay just like making a ruckus. But I was too scared to do anything. And he comes back, and I'm like, thank God we could go to sleep. But no, he starts up again for round 2 of his,
Yes.
evening excursions or activities. It was so bad. And then like, he has the nerve to ask me the next morning. He was like, and I can't do the French Canadian accent but he's like, how did you sleep? Yeah, Paul.
Yeah,
and right. I was just like, fine. Like, I had nothing. I had no sass, no nothing. And he's like, I slept sound. And I'm like, I bet you did. Like,
oh my God,
all the cuss words in my head. It was so.
PSA announcement. I hope the guy that did this is listening to your podcast, because maybe he can confront, so that.
I just don't. Who would you do that? I mean, why? You're in an open bay. Like, there were like 12 of us in that room. I just didn't get it. I could not understand. I still to this day. And so I realized that, people are not like me. These people. They don't have the same like sense of decency and common morality that I thought everyone had. Like, oh my God, like, they're stealing my stuff and they're masturbating in front of everybody. It's terrible.
I don't have words. I don't have words.
Yeah, what could you say? And then I have to go after that. Yet again.
Set it up.
Yet again.
I told my friend, I was like, I never stayed in another youth hostel. I was like, we need to stay in a place that locks. There's a door, a room. It was terrible. I don't know if that's like a common thing. I don't know, but.
Well, that's why okay. So, Bill, I'm a careful traveler. Okay, I'm a planner, and I know that the world is not the world is not for me all the time. So the story that I have actually is kind of, it was the first time I guess that I wouldn't say that I've been, crying firsthand or but just untruths while traveling, I guess, or not forthcoming. And Paul, this was actually the trip that we visited you when we met up in London.
Yeah.
We had just come back or we flew to London to visit with family. We were out in the countryside, and then we had come into the city now to stay because we invited Paul to do high tea with us and do some other things and kind of meet up, because this is the first time that we actually saw each other since high school, really, other than speaking online. So we had booked a stay at a hotel, or kind of like a boutique hotel, and unfortunately we did not we read reviews, but we only read reviews in one spot, which you should not do. You should try to search for other places. So what turned out is I had given my credit card to them to hold the room, obviously, because they talked about, your room can be given away, the regular spiel. But when we arrived in the city, we had taken the train in, and then took one of the black, cars or cabs or whatever to the hotel. It was not what we expected. It was very rundown. In its day, the photos that they had is probably what it looked like in its day. But this place was not what it was cracked up to. When we got to the room, there was dirt everywhere. There was left like dirty towels.
A man in the bed taking care of him.
Yeah. No. But needless to say, the air conditioning that supposedly the air conditioned room was actually, the hose was hanging out the window, and it was, let's just say, it wasn't a place that either one of my husband and I would have ever chosen to stay. So, politely went back downstairs. I mean, this was all of 5 minutes. And did not unpack, did not press go, just went right out of the hotel. I spoke to the gentleman, told him we were not staying there. Of course, they were trying to accommodate us and saying, I don't think we have any openings. He's like, that's okay, because we're not staying. Just make sure that you don't charge my card. And what was very nice was, you have to kind of pivot on a dime. We ended up finding a spot that I wanted to, go to originally, but my husband vetoed for this spot, so it's all his fault. But we ended up going to a wonderful accommodations, and they actually charged us half the price and upgraded our room because of the experience that we had. So,
wow. Even though the experience was at a different place, they were, wow.
Yeah, they were very accommodating, and I don't mind talking about them. They're called rooms.com. I've spoken to their CEO, very, very, very personable guy. And yeah, I told him my experience, and he was like, that's what we do. That's who we are. So if you're ever in England, rooms.com, they're perfect. And that's ROOMZZZ.com.
Three Z's. That you cleared that up, because I would not have guessed.
Nope. So. Yeah, I was.
Yeah, so we had a wonderful experience though outside of that. But that threw us for a doozy. My husband was like, "What are we gonna do?" I'm like, "I got you."
So yeah. Sleep in the park. That's where we're in. Sleep in there. Oh my God, gross.
Nice. Yeah, I'm sorry that you had to follow Benef on that one. That's
just saying.
That's brutal.
Very PG.
Yeah. At least you ended with a PG. Ending it with a PG.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I still don't have to put the E on this episode, so at least we're good there.
Boom.
Oh, I think I did one swear word, so maybe just edit that one out.
You guys have dropped a couple. It's okay. we can let a couple slip. That's not a big deal. So can we shift gears emotionally, actually, though? And can you guys think of anything that's happened that's just been like just really just wow? Like whether it was a moving moment that you had somewhere that really touched you, or I also like to hear stories about meeting other people, whether it's locals in a place that you're in or other travelers, and maybe even forming bonds or friendships. You guys have anything like that you could share?
One. I do.
I do too. Okay.
Yeah, there's a bunch of those.
So my dad came when I retired from the military. I retired out of Japan, and so my dad came for the ceremony, and he had been in the Navy, and he hadn't been in Japan for like 40 years. I want to say at least 40 years. Well, regardless, it had been a long time. So it was his first time coming back. and he wanted to go and see some different sites, Hiroshima being one of them. And the funny part was is that I was being cheap, and I only booked like one room, and the Japanese hotel rooms can be really, really, really small. And so my dad was like snoring, and he was just making so much noise, and I was like, why did I do this to myself? Like, never
and this
again.
Is after you
share
already
a room
had
with my
that
father.
Like, you didn't learn from close quarters before that bad things can happen.
It was so close that I could like hit him, and he's like got the newspaper, and he's like, Dad, you're snoring, and he's like, bam, I'm breathing, and I'm like, no, you're not. Oh my god. Anyway, but that we visited the Hiroshima memorial, or maybe this was Nagasaki. Man, I'm getting them confused. But regardless, we were trying to find a place to eat, and it was supposed to be, I feel like it was supposed to be Italian. But we're following Google, and Google took us to like one of those hole in the wall places. We went in, and it's just like a counter with like 5 or 6 stools, and we're like, okay, this is not where we thought we were going, but we're here now. And the menus, it was all Japanese. Like, they didn't speak any English, and so I'm doing my best. Like, I knew enough Japanese to at least like try to order like the names of the foods and stuff, and the person knew enough English to try to accommodate us. But and it was just like there were 2 locals there, and we didn't like, no one spoke each other's language, but we had this connection of just like they're laughing at us being foreigners, basically. Like, my dad's trying to eat with the chopsticks, and they're just giggling and laughing, and they finally give him a fork. But it was like there was no word. Like, we weren't speaking Japanese, and they weren't speaking English, but just the understanding of like, we're here with a good meal, with some beer, with some sake. Like, the man was about my dad's age, and we were just bonding over a meal, not really understanding. We couldn't communicate other than like non-verbally, and like it was just so much laughter for not actually speaking any words to them. That was really special, and I'll always remember that.
I'm going to jump in real quick, because it's funny that happened in Japan, and it was a language thing and all that, because I did have a guest on who's a good friend of mine early on in the podcast, who told a story about being in Japan and basically having a full-on night of conversation with a group of Japanese people through karaoke. Like, they were actually like going back and forth and singing songs, and they ended up at one point all singing the Backstreet Boys together. It was like the coolest thing.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I would have loved that.
Wow,
I do like
so
karaoke.
cool. That would have been really cool and stuff.
I love that.
Well, I mean, mine is probably a little shorter, because I'm gonna do one where I don't know if it's the right word, but sentimental to me. But it was when I was living in Jordan, and I was there for work. While I was in the military, I was doing like communications type of humanitarian. This was during the Syria humanitarian crisis, if you remember this situation happening on the Syrian border. And I think the most touching thing for me was after seeing and watching folks running across the borders from Syria to Jordan. And I'm gonna feel a little choked up, because there was like this, and I still have the photo and stuff like this. There was this little girl that only had like 2 plastic bags of stuff, and I remember I literally saw her running, and then all of a sudden she gave me the biggest hug ever. She has no idea who I am, and I was not wearing military uniform or anything like this, and I just remember. Clearly, she didn't speak English, but she knew how to say, thank you, I love you, thank you, I love you, thank you. I was like, I didn't even do anything. And but then I just saw all these news media folks just shoving cameras in her face and microphones in her face. And I remember she it almost felt like it was my kid, because she like stuck on to me. I mean, she was a little. I would say she's maybe no more than 8, maybe, and she stuck onto me like glue. Like it was, it was the most, rewarding, happy. I don't know but I was like, why the hell is this chick or this kid hanging on to me like this? And it was the most like, and that's the only thing I have to say is that it changed my perspective on certain things. You know what I mean? And that will stay with me forever. And to this day, I always say to myself, I wonder where this kid is now, because obviously she's not a kid anymore. And I remember I was moving away the cameras. I was like, don't put a mic in this little kid's face asking her these questions. She's already traumatized from literally getting shot at because she's running across the border. And I was just like, but now I'm just like, man, I wonder where this kid is. I would love to meet this kid. Well, she's not a kid anymore, but she's an adult, probably.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway,
That's
was
incredible.
slightly
Wow.
touching,
That's
but
incredible.
I still
Yeah.
remember that like it was
I
today.
had you hadn't told that story before.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like what? You're just gonna tell it?
Hey, by the way, let me tell you about this. Well, and
Well, I guess we haven't
and-
had that type of prompt
and-
before.
and
I mean, I
Trish,
have the
you get to
pictures.
keep following these stories.
Yeah.
I do. I let them talk. I let them talk first because they obviously have, their travel, a lot of their travel has been, related to the military and work wise, right? So mine has, been for enjoyment, which particularly has been vacation time for me. So
You suck. No, I'm joking.
I know. No, I've traveled for work, but it's usually, hasn't been abroad. So the one sentimental thing that I can say, I mean, I have a couple, but the one that I don't think I've ever talked about was, really when my son went on when he actually went to Europe, and I went with him, that adult trip that I talked about before, that I was the adult and not a chaperone, where we were in Europe for 2.5 weeks. That was his first experience other than going to Belize, going abroad. And this happened in between his junior and senior year. So it was the summer in July leading up to the 4th of July. And we had 2.5 weeks to tour 7 cities in Europe, starting, I guess, in England and then going on to, I guess ending in Rothenburg, but, Venice, all those things in between. And I guess the most sentimental thing that was about that trip for me was actually seeing the difference in my son from beginning to the end, and how, where we started out, of course, it's all exciting. And this was a program through the van program where they did kind of an exchange thing. And basically what happens is they travel to these places in Europe every year. And these people, they've been doing it for almost 40 something odd years. And they actually have a following, because this is how Americans, in their sense, bring music to the European community. So there's these Americans, band students who are going and they're playing in these places that are historic. They've been there for centuries, and here they are playing their instrument or singing, because there were also choirs there. There was the whole delegation of kids was about 250 kids, but they're all musicians, whether with their voice or their instrument. And so my son is a trombone player, and he got to play in Gothic churches and parks that have been here forever. So the sentimental thing for me was that is just to see the growth in him, and just really how that experience. I mean, he's already a pretty smart kid, and was very self-aware just in general, because of course we had traveled, and he has me as a mom. So but in general, just the way that he really tried to immerse himself in that experience. And
Wow.
also the other kids that he was with, they were just a really great group of kids, and how everyone just really embraced what they were experiencing. And really that's what the trip is about. Here you are supposedly bringing music, because I think they were doing John Williams, kind of a deal with John Williams, a whole encore of his music, and then got to hear the same kind of suites with the London Symphony. So, I mean, it was just all these experiences that happened. And so the most sentimental thing for me was doing that. And then him coming up to me at the end of the trip and saying, "Mom, thank you for making this possible
that's
for me,
cool.
because this was absolutely amazing. And to have done it with you." So yeah, it was pretty awesome.
So when you
Wow.
were there for that trip, I know you said obviously you weren't a chaperone, but and you were you
Hmm.
kind of did your own thing a lot, right? While the kids were doing what they were
Yeah,
doing, but you got to see him
Hmm.
play still in some of these places, right? Or all of these
I
different
did.
places.
I got to see every performance. Yeah,
And
so
so,
Wow.
how was
it was
that for
pretty
you? The
cool.
first time that you were the first performance that they did in one of these like centuries old, like did
Yeah.
that hit you like in a way?
Yes, it did. Yeah, it really did because I was actually really good friends with the band director, which is really funny because always called him by his last name. And then so when we went on the trip, I go, I won't mention his name because we don't have permission to say so. But when I mentioned, I was like, "Can I call you by your first name since I'm just an adult?" And he was like, "Absolutely," But it was just they from the very first from the onset. Yeah, it was very awe inspiring and just I don't know how to describe to think that here is your son where
You cried.
he I did not cry. I did not cry, but I was it was almost a solemn experience, honestly, and how I could not believe that he was having this experience and that
Mm.
and if you know him now and the musician that he is today and how methodical he is, and he knows how important music is and that it's the international language, that no matter what, that you can connect on music. So it's so important to him, and the purity of it. Yeah. I knew instantly that it was going to be something that was going to be great, but now I'm getting to see it manifested as him as an adult musician and how much that means, especially with him also teaching. So
That's
yeah.
cool.
Oh, awesome! And that's it's fun, it's a topic that I talked with one of my guests about who grew up traveling and still travels
Hmm.
today, and I
Hmm.
said it would be a cool social experiment to, and I don't know exactly what the questions would be or what the exact experiment would be, but to take a group of say 100 adults that traveled as children as they were growing up,
Hmm.
and then take 100 adults who've never really traveled and just to compare the
Mm.
two because I think
Mm,
those that have traveled, especially as they were growing up, just you're obviously more cultured anyway, just
sure.
inherently because of it. But I just don't know. The people that I know in my life that traveled as they were younger and growing up, just they're just totally. It's a different feeling, a different vibe, a different maybe
Yeah,
respect for the world and for life and
absolutely.
humanity.
Well, you see, the world is more. It's global. It's not about you and where you are. It's about everyone.
Hmm.
You have a more
Yeah.
community sense, communal sense, and I think, and that's not typical of Americans. So in general, but I feel that that's what that experience brings. And we just recently had a very same experience. A friend of ours, another bandmate of ours, her and her son had come on. A couple of podcasts ago on,
Oh
on our
yeah.
Rhythm and Rome show,
Right.
and they talked just about that experience. And what was very unique in that particular moment is that or discussing it is that Patrick is also deaf. So
Mm.
not only was there a language barrier, but then there's also the hearing factor. So
Hmm.
it was a very very interesting
Mm.
topic and how those nuances. I have a hearing child. What about one who's not? So
Wow.
and how they still managed to bring. He still said the exact same
He
things,
immersed himself
immersed as
very
He
well.
himself.
sure
So
did. Yeah, it was a very
yeah, it was a very cool
profound
show.
experience for him.
But Bill,
So
you brought something to light when you said this experiment because I'm like, wow, that would be kind of a cool experiment. However, I feel like I wonder how far it would work because the people who are very cultured, meaning traveled a lot, versus the people that didn't. Can you imagine the in my mind, I'm like, okay, you're gonna probably have some people that are gonna be annoyed because they're too arrogant because they don't want to deal with the people that are not cultured. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, but that could
Hmm.
be just me being
well, I just feel like you could take a
misconception
hundred.
or whatever.
Yeah, you could take the 100 of the cultured, but maybe not as many who are uncultured. In the
Right,
sense.
because you know how it is when like it's kind of like how when you grow up, and the people who you went to school with maybe or you were best friends with in school, are they still the same people that you're still, do you know what I
Well,
mean? And
yeah.
and then when you go back to your small town or your where you grew up, because I could tell you when I go back home and I'm like, ugh, this person has not changed.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But they live in their bubble, right? They live in their bubble.
Yeah, they live in their
They do.
bubble. But then now you're gonna tell that person to live out of their bubble, come travel with me, who have been traveling. I'm gonna be feeling the same way, and I'm gonna be like, why are you asking for Mountain Dew when you know you're in France? Stop.
Yeah.
Is that embarrassing?
Well, they need to read our book first.
Bingo.
That's it.
Then
That's it.
Yeah. Do the workbook. Do the workbook.
There you go.
Yes.
This is awesome, guys. So I have
I appreciate
one more topic before at some point we should probably get into the final 5 questions because it's going to be 15 answers. So
yeah. Maybe I think they're probably short though.
Yeah.
oh, I don't know.
One word answers. One word answers.
Okay.
It won't work that way. But so I want to hear horrific near death. Tell me,
Lord.
Tell me some scary, not guy underneath me in the bunk bed, scary, but scary like I can't believe this could happen to me. Or if you have any, if you don't,
Yes.
hopefully you don't. But
I might need to.
I have one quick one. This is real quick. So I lived in Hawaii. I was traveling, but I was living in Hawaii. Obviously, work again. I was. If you know Hawaii, I went to a very famous beach called Anama Bay. I was swimming out in the ocean, and this is why I don't swim in the ocean anymore, because I was snorkeling, and then all of a sudden, as I was snorkeling and enjoying myself with my friends and everything like that, I got hit into a riptide, and
Oh shit!
like I did not know really, because I did not learn how to swim professionally. I learned how to swim because my brother threw me in the water, and I basically learned how to swim in whatever. I knew how to swim.
And Bob's your uncle. Yeah.
Yeah. So, as I was swimming, and I didn't know anything about you swim, was it parallel to the water when the riptide is in? But I was trying to swim back because I noticed I was just really fast, moving out into, because Anama Bay is a extinct volcano with Pacific Ocean going into it. And I found myself like floating away from the shore, and I'm swimming and I'm not moving. And then thank God, I always say, thank God, my friend who I came with was literally kind of like on a coral reef nearby and was able to reach his hand out. Because I swear to God, if he did not, I probably wouldn't be here today.
oh my
And
gosh.
ever since then, I've never swam in the ocean again. I've been in it, but I will never ever swim in the ocean again. I need a pool where I can touch if I need to. That's the God honest truth. I've never
Well, that
swum in the
explains a
ocean.
lot.
Yeah. And that was, just to let you know, that was back in 2001. Wow. And I've never swum in the ocean again.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I have a similar story because this just happened in BVI. It wasn't to me per se, but it was my husband, who is, for the most part, a decent swimmer, coming from Belize. But my husband's from Belize too. So everyone, but he's fairly decent, but he's more comfortable if he's going to swim in the ocean or the sea with flippers on. And so he just feels more in control in doing that. And so we were going, there's an area there. One of the islands is called the Baths, which is just nothing but rocks. It's beautiful, beautiful rocks, but you can either take a taxi and go around and then hike down to the beach, or you could go from your boat with a dinghy, tie off, and then swim onto land. So we did that, but we did not have a life vest. We are all much older now. And I found it easier, and most people, by swimming backwards. I'm very good at, floating and swimming backwards. It just works for me, especially if I'm trying to get far. Of course, I can swim frontward as well, but that's just how I felt comfortable because it's relaxing and I wanted to enjoy it. Well, unfortunately, he does not do so well. And there were some waves. They weren't high, but the water was moving, and it was a longer distance than he anticipated, and he got tired. And it was a little touch and go there. It was very scary. Why we did not have life vests on till this day, we all say was the stupidest thing we ever did, because now what we have to do is swim back, remember, to get back on our dinghy. And we made it obviously fine. But my husband was like, I'm enrolling in better. I'm going to get classes again. I'm going to definitely learn how to swim, and I'm going to learn how to dive, and I'm going to do
Guardian angels, man. Guardian
all
angels.
these things, because he's like, that's not going to be my last trip, but I'm not going to let that get me. So that was a little nerve wracking. And he would not let me help him and talk him through it. He's like, leave me alone, leave me alone. I'd never seen him that way. He was
Just
panicked.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
No,
that
it's
was
really scary to be like in the ocean, just like swimming and getting tired.
Yeah.
It was scary,
That's
man.
the worst feeling.
That's why I would never do it again, ever again.
But I recommend it though. But just swim backwards.
No, I don't like swimming in the ocean because I also got really, really tired when we were swimming with the dolphins, and the boat started to like drift away, and thankfully somebody grabbed my arm to help me. But the story that I have, I guess, because like just traveling around, I mean, I guess Japan in particular, the navigation systems, because this would have been like 2015 to 2017, they weren't as good, I don't know, in Japan. And so it would be like either speaking Chinese, for whatever reason, Google would translate the Japanese, because they're Chinese characters, but they pronounce them differently. So it would be speaking Chinese, and that didn't give me a warm and fuzzy, because I was like, Google doesn't even know what country I'm in. This is not good. Or it would be like, turn right at, and then it wouldn't say anything. Like, where? So we were trying to find this place in the Izu Peninsula.
Like Mad Libs for travel.
We were trying to find this Airbnb in the Izu Peninsula. So it was kind of in the hills, and we're going around in circles. So it's dark, it's night, there's no lights, and because we're in the mountains, the signal is getting scrambled, and we keep going up and down roads, and it leads us to this house that is like a haunted shack. And my husband's like, hell no, that is not, because I was like, oh my God, we were lost for almost an hour. And then what became more scary was that the roads were really narrow, and we have this SUV, and we're like trying to back and like do like a 25-point turn to not go off the cliff. Like there wasn't any guardrails. It was like, and it's night, and we're panicking. Yikes. I mean, finally I was able to call, and the Airbnb dude like answered, which was a miracle. And it was like, oh yeah, you're supposed to see the gas station and then turn, and we managed to get there. But like there was a lot of that type of navigation in Japan where it would be like a rice paddy. Like we couldn't use Google. Google would send you on things that were not roads. Like it was just a trail for like a goat or something, not for like an actual vehicle. And it would be two-way traffic too. So like, where the heck are you supposed to go if another car comes? And sometimes there's rarely shoulders. And then there could just be like a ditch. So the rice, the road, quote unquote, and then like a ditch. So you can't go off into the field because it's a ditch. And so it was really just scary. Yikes. I hate it. And they drive on the left side of the road. So just all of that.
Paul, you're muted, by the way.
I'm muted?
No, Paul's muted.
No, Paul's muted. I was like, I'm not muted.
I saw him speaking French, but I couldn't hear him.
Oh, you're muted, Paul. Unmute yourself.
Okay,
there
sorry. I was like sitting there talking to myself.
Yes,
no, I was just saying, and they drive on the wrong side, which is what you just said.
Yeah, they drive on the left.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
But yeah, that's crazy.
I love it. So before we get to the final 5 questions that I have for you guys, is there anything I know we're missing a ton. I mean, a ton of stories, but
this is great. You have us like reminiscing, man.
I love it.
Seriously.
I love it. Is there anything that like jumps out at any of you that it's just like, I have to share this story before we get to the end? Like a favorite or anything that you kind of tell them?
So. Yeah, I feel pretty complete. I'm trying to think. Yeah.
The things that
I've learned new things though about my co-host today. I'm actually excited. I love this.
Well, and it's funny when you were telling the story about the dinghy, Trecia, I was thinking of Benef actually. So, she had. But anyway,
oh my God.
I digress. All right. So the final 5 questions. I didn't tell you guys these, I don't think. Did you know anything about these? Okay. And nothing's
No.
outrageous or crazy or whatever. But all right. So question number 1 is, of all of the places in the world that all of you have been, where has been your most incredible meal experience anywhere in the world?
New Zealand, hands down.
Tell me about it.
New Zealand, South Island, hands down. The best scallops I've ever had in my
Oh,
life.
really?
I bet.
The best scallops I've ever had, and it just melted in my mouth.
You remember?
This is a
You remember like
hard
where
question.
you were, what it was like there?
I sure do. Queenstown and the Lobster Shack, something or another, but it was right on the water, and it was dinner time, and I had the best. Like I still talk about them today. I've never had the like scallop, and I love scallops, but I've never like scallop is one of those things that if you cook it too much, it gets too chewy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
Like
easy to
you
mess 'em
gotta
up.
know how to do it.
Yep.
Exactly. Perfect. And the perfect pairing of wine, hands down for me.
Excellent.
Wow,
I hear that about New Zealand, though.
Yeah.
Question. I mean, the one that's coming to mind, because I probably have more than one, but I'm thinking of this restaurant in Sapporo. We went for the like the ice festival, and so it was just like they cooked everything right there, but it wasn't like they didn't like overdo the sauce and all that. I mean, it was a show, but it wasn't like cheesy show, and it was just perfectly grilled. Like everything that we got was just the taste was amazing. So I'm going to go with that one. But I think there's too many for me to narrow it down.
There's definitely others, but
and I'm careful to phrase the question the way I do as meal experience. I've actually had people say it was at such and such a place. My family was with me. I don't even remember what I ate. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But,
No,
I remember what I eat because I like food. So I love food and drink. So for me, it's kind of a toss-up, but the one that certainly, it was unexpected, I should certainly say, unexpectedly delicious. We had taken a group with us to Belize. We do that from time to time with friends, just so they can get to know the country with someone who's local, if you will, mostly our friends, right? And this experience was actually some folks that we've been friends with for at least about 6 or 7 years through, met them through church and that kind of thing. And they all wanted to go to the Belize. We went. And one of the excursions that we booked was it was a friend of the caretaker who was there. And he was basically trying to get his business, kind of his local tour business getting going. And this was an excursion where he would pick us up from the house in our boat and take us to Holchan, which is only about 10 minutes away from where we were staying, which is the second best, place to dive other than Australia on the Barrier Reef.
To die. I'm like, what?
Dive, D-I-V-E, Paul. And so took a scuba diving and all those wonderful things and snorkeling, whatever there. And then from there, we had a dinner on a private island. It was a friend of theirs who had his own private island, and his girlfriend actually cooked for us. They caught fresh fish, fresh lobster, and she cooked up a meal right there on the beach.
Oh my gosh.
And it was mouth-watering, incredible.
That's amazing.
Cooked on an open hearth, not in an oven, just an open
Damn.
hearth. And we just sat around drinking, rum punches and all these wonderful things. And that was incredible, like absolutely incredible. And then after that, we swam with the sharks. It was wonderful.
Nice. You waited 30 minutes, I hope.
Yes, absolutely. But after that, we took our boat ride because they're nurse sharks, which are very docile, sharks, and they're very well fed elsewhere, so they're not looking for us. But it was it was an amazing experience. Needless to say, everyone wants to go back.
Wow. That's a tough thing too, right? Because you want to go back because of the experience you had. You can never recreate it though,
Absolutely not.
It'll never be the same.
It'll never be the same.
And I have moments like that in my life, in my travels too, that I think, man, I want to go back there again and whatever. But I worry sometimes I'll be disappointed because of that, because my expectation would be so high because I had such a great experience somewhere. But
that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
So question 2 is probably my favorite of the 5. Question 2 is, of all the places in the world that you have been, even if I offered you a free trip, you would say, no, thank you. I don't want to go back.
Uh-huh.
Oh man.
I mean, this is fully just travel too. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Do
you've
not go
lived
back.
in places too, I guess, right? But you traveled to them to live there, so I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I have several.
And sometimes it's just,
Would not-
no knock on the place. It's just, hey, I've experienced it and I'm good. I don't. But I like to hear the ones that
Yeah.
are like, no, I don't want to go back.
Well, definitely, I don't want to go back to Iraq. So
I know. Yeah,
I mean,
that's
that's a given.
I don't want to go back there either.
That's eliminate process of elimination.
I've been
for
there,
me,
but yeah.
yeah, for
Doesn't
me,
seem too desirable.
no, it isn't. And I think for me, other than that one, I would have to probably say Lithuania. And the only reason why, because the experience I mean, I enjoyed it, but I checked the block and I don't think I would want to go again, only because I think that was the only place that I truly maybe felt a little bit weird because like I literally was the only spot in the I was the only spot in the crowd.
The spot.
Literally. It was great, but that was the first time I felt like
Uncomfortable.
man, yeah, it was more like, am I a meal or like like people were
A
like
meal? What do you mean? Like they're not cannibals? What?
I don't know, because the way they were looking at me, it was almost like very cannibalistic.
Was that the one when you were? I do remember this
Yeah.
experience because I remember you telling me this.
It was
yeah.
I was in,
You were in the
picture, like,
square.
the square,
Yeah.
the town square,
Yeah.
and I'm taking
Yeah.
pictures and with my camera at the time.
Yeah, and they were looking at you. It's true.
Yeah,
It's
next
true.
thing you know, picture a little kid playing ball or whatever like that. People are talking and engaging, and all of a sudden, there's me coming by, and then all of a sudden, the kid stopped playing ball because the ball is like gone somewhere because he's looking.
Everybody's
Hey.
silent.
Yeah,
That happened to me in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. So hey,
See?
it's stateside too. So you
right.
know that.
But I mean, it's expected in the States, I guess. But like, I was
No,
like,
not really.
no, I know.
I wouldn't
know.
expect it, but
No, I
was
know,
thrown
but
aback.
it was just.
But
one of those
I know
things-
the experience that you mean. Yeah.
I checked the block. I don't know if
Yeah.
someone says, "Oh, we should go to Lithuania tomorrow." I'd be like,
You're
I
like,
pass.
I mean,
I'm
there's
good.
plenty of places in the United States I don't need to return to, but
Oh, yeah.
my God. I
Yeah.
guess if we're
Oh,
doing
yeah.
other,
Well, it doesn't. I
Countries,
mean,
I
literally
prob-
anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world.
yeah. Oh my
Well,
gosh.
if it's the
For
States,
me,
I
I
can.
guess for me it would be Liechtenstein, only because it's like 5 minutes. No, listen to me.
Talking about
Look, Bill said because you've been there and you've done it
because
and
it's
you're
so
good.
tiny. It's tiny.
But because it's so tiny, I mean, you can
Yeah,
walk it in
yeah.
20 minutes and be done with it.
The
you know,
whole country? Really?
yeah, it's tiny. It's literally a
It's
blimp.
Okay.
yeah, it's
Isn't
It's
it
in
basically just like
Switzerland.
one long road or one short road? Like,
Yeah,
For the
it's
most part,
literally
yes.
15 minutes. You can get in and out. 15, 20 minutes.
yeah.
It's like
and
right in
you
the
know,
heart
the
of.
castle's on one end and there's a bunch of
Switzerland.
shops on the other end. You know,
Yeah.
so it's like a pass through in a sense.
Mm.
But
Hmm.
I mean, absolutely stunning, beautiful, super clean, very nice people. But I feel like I've done it all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
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 that's a fair answer.
I mean, I don't need to go back to Thailand. I think I'm done with Thailand. I've been there twice, and yeah, I try somewhere else. I mean, it's beautiful, but
Okay,
but it's
yeah.
just I don't need to. I don't know what I would do there. Like
The
I've already
food
been
is
to the
great.
beach. I've been to the jungle. I have
wanna
no
go party
desire to
there.
go to I have no desire to go to Bangkok like at all. No.
Or the
Oh,
food.
well, not even one night in Bangkok. Come on, I gotta
No.
go live that. I gotta go
Nothing.
live
And
that.
I just no. I'm done. Done with Thailand.
Wow. Okay. That's
That's a surprising answer.
wow.
Nobody said that one yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm done with Thailand.
Did anyone say Lithuania?
No, you're right. Nobody said that either. Although I don't think I've talked to anyone else who's been there, so that could be why.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, so question 3, we're going to flip it on its head. Of all the places in the world that you have been, where do you absolutely have to go back to?
Oh, Portugal for sure.
Ooh.
New
There's a lot of
Zealand.
those. Yes. New Zealand.
Yeah.
If you were to give me my wish and say, here's a bunch of money, where do you want to go to spend the rest of your life? It is South Island, New Zealand, either Christchurch
Yes.
or
I'll be in Wanaka and
Queenstown.
Paul will be in Queenstown or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that I would probably say the same thing if I've been to New Zealand, because that's like my next place. But other than that, Portugal for sure, hands down.
Oh yeah,
I'm learning
Portugal will
Portuguese
be
now, so
in the top
Awesome.
5 for me.
Awesome.
It would be a top 5 for me.
And I'll meet you, Paul, and Benef somewhere. My daughter is right now living in Wellington, and so
Oh, cool.
my listeners are probably sick
I'm
of hearing me
so
say
jealous.
that. But yeah, so
So jealous.
hoping to get there sometime maybe early next year before
Oh,
they
you're gonna
before
love
they
it.
move, because they're hoping to move to Spain. So
If there's any sponsors that are listening right now, we all want to go. So let us all meet back up. We'll do a meetup and
Yes.
we'll go.
yeah, that sounds great.
For sure.
Yeah, visit
Oh
New
my
Zealand if there's like something like that. Like yeah, we'll go.
We
We'll
better
document
make sure
it
we
and-
tag them.
Yep, absolutely.
We're gonna tag them. We're gonna tag them in this.
That's awesome.
All right. So question 4 is, of all the places in the world that you have not been, and I'm very careful to say this is not bucket list because my bucket list is massive, but where is the one place that you haven't been that you absolutely must get to?
Africa. Well, I've been to Africa, but certain places in Africa.
Like where and why, if you don't mind.
I'm so embarrassed. The only place in Africa I truly have been was the Sinai Peninsula, and that was for work.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to go to Cape Town, and wanting to do also Tanzania, but minus the safari, because we talked about this before. I don't mess around with.
He's afraid of animals.
The animals. He's afraid
Well,
of
it's not the
animals.
matter of afraid. I just love the fact that humans think that they could talk to animals and thinking that the animals tell them, "Oh, I won't bother you."
I mean, it works with my
those
cats.
zoos. Yeah. Well, your cat is domesticated, but that's okay. But I mean, like, you know what I
No
mean?
lion
Like,
meat. No lion
seeing
meat.
those dang jaguars on top of Jeeps and stuff like that and say, "Be very quiet." No, I'm going to sing like Mariah Carey. So that ain't happening. I will have a very zoom
And not the
lens.
vision of love, Mariah
No.
Carey.
Oh my God.
It's gonna be the high octaves and stuff like this. I would love to see those places and stuff like that for sure.
Awesome.
Mine is definitely Morocco and Turkey. Those are two places that I
love Turkey.
definitely need to. Yeah, that has to happen. Pronto.
Can you expand?
Yeah, well, because first of all, I find it very exotic, right? And I really want to see if it's everything that's in my head, of everything that I've watched and read about. Just, I don't know, the textiles, the colors, the people, the food. I would love to be able to experience that firsthand.
Yeah, awesome. And I've heard nothing but good things about Turkey as well.
Yeah, I lived in Turkey.
And I'm gonna get a physical in Turkey as well, because the
it's
the medical
cheap.
care in Turkey is
like,
cheap.
what?
And
Okay.
it's high tech.
No, it's cheap. It's cheap.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people go there for hair implants.
Yes, that is true.
Yes.
The
And
men.
Turkish
And
doctors
dental work.
travel to the United States to do their
Yeah.
implants too. They're just so good at it.
Yes.
Wow.
And
Tricia,
dental
you,
work.
you
dental
mentioned dental. I had my root canal done when I was living in Turkey.
Boom.
And I have a gold plated
Boom.
because everything is about gold and platinum
Absolutely.
in Turkey.
And those
So,
hospitals are everything. They're incredible.
Nice.
So I'm hoping that one day it'll be safe enough for me to go to Afghanistan, that my mom is from there, but I just don't know because it's not like I'm going to go there alone. I don't speak the language. So that would be like a place where if I could ever get there and not be like worried about my safety. But I would love to do like a Galapagos Island
Oh yes.
tour, either on the cruise ship or like a land one, or a combination of both. Like I mean, just to see those some of those places that are still supposed to be untouched.
Untouched.
Would be
Agreed. Yeah.
be great.
That's awesome. Nobody has ever said Afghanistan also, by the way. So we're getting a lot of firsts on this. So this is this is great.
Half Afghan, you kind of want to go home,
That's awesome. So the final question is easy because you either have an answer or you don't. So the question is, where are you going? What's planned in the next 6
Ooh.
months to a year?
Ooh.
That's also easy. I guess I'll
Well,
go
you go
first.
first then. Yeah,
You go
so,
first.
like next week, right?
Yeah. So I am. So in September, like big trip for me. It won't be big, but my trip is Croatia, and in October I will go to Edinburgh again just to see the autumn leaves and stuff like that because it's supposed to be really really pretty. And I've been to Edinburgh before, but I haven't been there doing this time.
During the fall.
During the fall, right? And then I'm actually looking at for January is Africa, but I'm not. It's not set in stone yet because that's their summer going to Cape Town. So I'm hoping to finally do that.
Awesome.
Wow, you're gonna go by yourself?
Well, not yet. I have two people that said that they're interested, so we'll see.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
The intent is to not go by myself.
Well,
Okay.
if we get a
Yeah.
sponsor, then maybe
Yeah.
all of us can go.
Visit
Safety is
Africa
an
if you're
issue.
listeing.
Yeah. Yes, people in
That's
Africa.
right. We so want to go. All of us really want to go to Africa, but yeah.
Well, in September, the first week of September, I'm going to Paris. Be staying with Paul actually for doing a workshop, a writer's workshop. So I'm actually trying to write my mom's memoir, and so I'm hoping that this workshop will help me to figure out how to do that. I've only ever written like shorter types of things. So this will be longer, and I don't know. I want it to be exciting, like a story, not like a textbook. So be doing that, and then doing some local travel in and around Denver and around Colorado Springs to places that I haven't been. Like I'm going to try a Michelin star restaurant for the first time.
What?
Boom.
Never
You've been to
been.
Michelin?
When are you doing
No,
that?
no.
Neither have I. Neither have I.
Oh, really? Yeah. In Denver, there's 4 different one-star
Yes.
Michelin
Wow.
restaurants. And so I'm going to one called Beacon for
Oh,
my birthday,
nice.
September 17.
Yay.
We can
Yeah.
go
Had
to
I
Michelin
known
too.
that,
We can go to one if we get here
Well,
in Paris.
I don't, I mean, the Michelin price comes with,
I know it's expensive.
so I don't need to
It's
do that all the
expensive.
time.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why I'm
yeah.
doing it
It's
for my
expensive.
birthday.
Right.
And then in October, I'll be in Austin for the Grand Prix, Formula
nice.
One. I'm super excited
that's awesome.
because we bought the
Are
package. I'm
you
hoping
going
I
to,
get to
Trecia?
see.
I
You're
am
gonna
not
be there
going,
too?
but now
No.
I didn't even know she was going.
No,
So now we
yeah.
definitely have to meet up. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be in Austin for like 4 nights maybe. Anyway, well, I'll let you know the dates. But I'm super excited because I'm a huge F1 fan now. Like for the first time in like a year ago, I became an F1 fan.
Yay. Not just because
But
the movie just came out. Yeah.
No, not the movie, but I love it. So I'm hoping, like, I guess this would be a bucket list to see a Grand Prix and all, and like, because there's 24 in a season,
Monaco.
so like,
Go to Monaco.
no, to go to all of them.
Yeah.
Maybe not
that
all
would
in
be-
one season. That's a lot of travel.
That's
It is
Try
awesome.
to
quite a
do
bit.
all in one
Hey,
season.
do me a favor when you go to stay with Paul. Can you find him an air conditioner when you're there?
Oh my
This
god!
poor man doesn't even have an oscillating fan. He's using.
You see
That's
me
what I'm trying to
planning
say.
with this.
Right? It's insane.
It's a third. I know, but it's a third world
No.
country, so I understand it.
Yeah,
No.
they are when it comes to
When it
of
comes
the
to air
developed
conditioning,
countries
they
in the
do
world.
not.
They are the least.
Yeah,
They're
They
so
have
far
the
behind.
least amount of air conditioning of all
Because
the
they
developed
don't
You may-
countries.
allow.
You have to buy one and bring it.
Well, it's fake air, so they don't. And even if you do the portable one, you have to put the hose somewhere. I have French doors, so it makes no sense sticking the hose out because
Yeah.
it's not going to get
They
cool.
have electric ones though. That's the thing. They have air
They
conditioning.
all have
indoor.
hoses. Well, they have you're right. They do. They have the wall ones where you can plug in. You're right. They do. However, you got to get permission to
Yeah,
screw
they'd have to be
those type of
installed.
heavy thing in.
Yeah.
See, it's all these
Yes.
little rules that you got to like deal with.
So my travel itinerary for the next couple of months, it's all local travel. I am coming. I will be going to Denver because my son is performing for a release party for the Colorado Jazz Regional Orchestra. They are having a release party for their new album called Golden Lady that just came out. So he will be performing at Dazzle for that coming up the first part of September. And then October, I will be the first part of October, I'll be going to Vegas. I have not been to Vegas in a long time. So my husband and I had some points, one of our hotel points. And we're like, all right, what do you want to do for your anniversary? I don't know. Let's just go to Vegas. So we're going to go to Vegas.
Definitely let us know because I heard that Vegas lost a lot of business because of situations. But
of
let us know.
Of course it has. But yeah, we'll see how that all works out. But we're just going to pop in first for kind of like a long weekend kind of thing.
Say hi to Usher for me.
Not going to see Usher.
Are you going to try to get to the Sphere?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Definitely.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah.
Absolutely. I actually just recently took a trip to Minneapolis. So if you all have not been there, you need to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Minneapolis.
I'm saying that to everybody. I just have to say that.
Nice. Yeah.
I got my first tattoo. I'm very excited. So
nice.
The other thing, hopefully Christmas time, we'll be able to go to Belize. I have not been back to Belize since before COVID, 2019. And that's ridiculous because we try to go at least once or twice a year. And my father-in-law is will be 93 during that time. So we're trying to go back and visit him there. And then hopefully after that, it'll be some time abroad. Maybe we'll go back to England because I know we were talking about going back and looking at some more countryside, going to Portugal, the Cotswolds. And I definitely will try to hop over to Portugal and go back and go to Porto. So, yeah.
Yes.
That's the plan.
Excellent. You guys, this has been an absolute blast. All my fears were worthless because
did we scare you?
No, I just wasn't sure how it was going to work with 3 people, but this was really awesome, and I really hope we can do it again someday because again, this was a blast. Anything that you guys want to add before I hit stop? And I hope you'll stay on for a couple of minutes after we do.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, but just certainly visit our website, www.rhythmandrome.com, and that where you'll get all the latest information on our podcast, also our book, and we look forward to connecting with you guys online.
Yeah. And to add on to that too as well, when you go to our website, if you scroll all the way down, if you would like, please do join our newsletter. We do a monthly newsletter, and that way it's another way to get all the top information as well. And we also do little blogs of our trips that we've done and write about them and stuff like that too as well, because I'm getting back into my writing habits again too as well. So that would be wonderful if you guys... All you need to do is just put your email address. That's it.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys so much again.
Thank you for having us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Bill.
And I'll be listening. So,
thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And there's another episode of the Where Have You Been podcast in the books. Thank you so much for listening today. It was another great guest with some great stories, as always. And I hope that you will support all of the guests by checking out the show notes and going to their web pages, seeing any socials and projects that they may have going on. And please, again, I'll ask as always to like, subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. It really does help to allow the podcast to grow and reach more people, and I appreciate you for doing that. Also, if you haven't done so, check out the website, whybpodcast.com, where you can find blog posts. If you'd like to be a guest, please register to be a guest on the site, and check out the merch page. There's some really cool stuff if you're interested in representing the pod, along with some other cool travel items and apparel that I'm working on every day as well. Join me again next week for another great guest with more incredible stories. New episodes drop every Sunday just after midnight Eastern Time. Until then, thank you for being here, and have a great day.